recent years, and certainly in the last year, is not normal. And the problem that I see as an educator is that there are young people growing up who have known nothing else but this moment. And there are many of us who have been so, bruised and by the pandemic and ignored by, years of this Trump rhetoric and aggression, and that coming from his followers, that we can start to think that this is how a normal democracy functions. But it is not. The United States has slipped radically down the scale of healthy democracies. 10 is the highest rating you can get. By 2021, global evaluators were saying that we were down at 5, with Poland, Slovenia, and Hungary. Hungary is interesting because the MAGA Republicans and figures like Tucker Carlson look to Hungary's leader, Viktor Orban, as a model. And he is a model for them of how to use democracy to completely undermine democracy and make it impossible to remove an authoritarian leader. So Biden's calling out of all this is extremely important, because we have allowed ourselves to get to the point where threats and intimidation and violence are routinely used to intimidate people. Let me be frank, this is terrorism. It has been directed most recently at the FBI, at our national archives, where the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution are housed. It has been directed at teachers and school boards. It has been directed at public health officials. It has been directed at Dr. Fauci and his family. And yet mainstream news continues to practice both sidesism, continues to pretend that these things are just partisan. I was so glad that you were doing this extended segment on President Biden's speech, because I was shocked last night to learn that 3 major news networks were not carrying the speech. Even NPR, when I got up this morning and turned on the radio, they gave it the most minimal coverage and just put it in the context of the midterms, as though this was politics as usual. And I think that's the exact opposite of the message the president was rightly trying to send. We faced existential threats to democracy in America, and they are coming from one place: from Donald Trump and those he has persuaded to follow him with the big lie, with a calculated system of media disinformation. And what's most important is that he and the donors behind this and that media have also cowed every Republican elected official in office except Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger, both of whom have been defeated, and others less well known who have spoken the truth, who have stood up to Donald Trump and who have stood up to the lies, who have lost office or are leaving office because they know they cannot be reelected by this MAGA party. We are absolutely, as the president said, at an inflection point in our country, and we must take stock and treat the coming midterms as truly the chance we have to save democracy from further wreckage. There's no point in talking about candidates for 2024 if we do not stop the election deniers and the election riggers from gaining control in state after swing state, as they are trying to now. Those are the people who won all the Republican primaries.
I want